You know, years ago, I used to think the most dangerous thing you do in life is get that car. You know, because people died more in cars than anything else, it seemed. You know, and that was the data that I grew up with. Now, about 10 years ago, I heard some data about people dying in hospitals by accident. Not because they're sick or anything, but from screw-ups and errors and accidents at hospitals. And it was like, it was the data I heard were like 100,000. And at the time, it was like 50,000 people would die in cars. Like, gee, that's twice as many people dying in hospitals than people driving around in automobiles. And I thought that was so dangerous. Yeah. Well, here, I just looked at the data again recently. And here's what it looks like. There's a new study came out just like last year that shows from 200,000 to 400,000 people are dying in hospitals from medical errors. Medical errors. You go to the hospital, get fixed, you're sick, and you got a bigger chance of dying there than anything else, at least by an accident. You know, I mean, sure, you know, it's not cancer, heart disease and things like that, but accident. There's no other thing that is more dangerous than you can do than go in a hospital. Look at the data here. Traffic deaths now. Motor vehicle deaths are down to 33,000. So we got 200 to 400,000 people dying a year by accident, errors by, you know, hospital employees that are dying in hospitals, and only 33,000 are dying in traffic accidents. Or how about this? Guns are so dangerous. Well, they're about the same as automobiles. About 33,000 people, 32,000 actually, are dying from handguns. You know? so hospitals are 10 times more dangerous than handguns or automobiles. Well, here's another interesting thing: is suicide deaths. 40,000. So homicides are 16,000. So people killing each other are 16,000. You know, people killing themselves are 40,000. So altogether, firearms account for 32,000. You know, that's the number of deaths for firearms. So it's amazing that we worry so much about handguns, people dying, automobiles, people dying. But what about hospitals? People go in to get well and live, and because of screw-ups in hospitals, look at 200, 400,000 people are dying. So what do? You know, if you friend, loved one or anything, or you're going to the hospital yourself, well, I think the most important thing to do if you're in a hospital is bring someone with you. Man, somebody should be sitting in that chair next to your bed, listening to everything that's going on, because you or the patient doesn't have the power or the energy or whatever to ask the doctor or the nurse or whatever some stupid questions because they may have screwed up. No. You need somebody there. I mean, I firmly believe that. So the more time that you could spend with somebody just sitting there in the hospital with somebody while they're being cared for, because they have a higher chance of being killed by accident in the hospital than anything else they do in life. And here's another group I ran into that is interesting, I think. If something really does happen to you, or a loved one or whatever, and there's an organization that helps. It's a nonprofit. It's called Mothers Against Medical Error. So these are self-help groups, you know, that help other people that ran into this problem. It's good when you have a problem that nobody else has to find out talk to somebody who's already gone through it. You know, don't call an attorney first and things like that. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, you want to, fine. But to me, I would get information from people who've gone through the process so they could teach you what they should have done the first time. So that's Mothers Against Medical Error. And their website is MAMEMONS online, ONLINE. So that's Mothers Against Medical Error, and their address on the web is MAMEMOSONLINE.org, and that's helped you. So watch out. The most dangerous thing, you have a bigger chance of dying in the hospital than almost anything else you're going to do in life. So be careful of the health profession.